Today on the spot, we got a pair of demos ending in 2. Aubrey Norris stops by with Dementium 2 on the DS, and Kevin Van Ord shows off Supreme Commander 2. Jody Robinson spotlights the community, and we get the latest update this week on Xbox Live. Nintendo's Media Summit hits San Francisco, and we get a demo of Photo Dojo from the event. All that and more, today on the spot.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Today on the Spot for Thursday, February 25th, 2010. I'm your host Lark Anderson, joined by the internet's Kevin Van Ord.
Hey Lark.
How's it going, Kevin?
I am fantastic.
How are you enjoying your internet fame? Because we're on the internet right now.
I love internet fame. There's no better fame than internet fame.
It's the best kind of fame. So today we're taking a look at the Nintendo Summit that was yesterday. We're also going to be taking a look at a demo of Dementium 2 on the DS, and Kevin is going to be playing some Supreme Commander 2. So before we get to all of that, let's hear today's headlines from the news team.
Hello everyone, this is your GameSpot news update for Thursday, February 25th. I'm Tom Magrino, filling in for Tor Thorson, who is currently quaffing honey mead in Valhalla. Goombas, take heed! Mario has been given his marching orders. Nintendo came heavy with SCAD's release dates at its 2010 Media Summit yesterday, announcing that Super Mario Galaxy 2 will arrive for the Wii on May 23rd. The portly plumber's latest interstellar jaunt plays out much like 2007's top-rated original and sees Mario grappling with zero-G while solving puzzles and squashing aliens. This time out, though, he'll be aided by his adorable dino Yoshi, as well as a Mondo pneumatic drill. Nintendo's first half schedule will also include Metroid Other M, which is coming June 27th. A shock announcement at E3 2009, the Samus Aran-led action-adventure is in development at Team Ninja, which is known for its sadistically difficult, not to mention gratuitously graphic, Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive franchises. The once and future DS Fat also received a release window. The DSi XL will arrive in North America on March 28 for $190. The supersized DSi sports 4.2-inch dual screens and battery life on par with the DS Lite, and will come pre-installed with several games and applications. Monster Hunter Tribe was also dated for April 20, Picross 3D is coming May 3rd, Sin and Punishment Star Successor is on June 7, Dragon Quest IX is coming this summer. Look, there's more. Check the site. Nintendo promises to have details about the second half of the year at E3 in June. One other release date to take note of: after a series of incremental delays, Sega and Obsidian Entertainment have attached a June 1st release date to the espionage-themed role-playing game Alpha Protocol. Hopefully it's for real this time and not just some misguided counterintelligence strategy. Alright everyone, that does it for today. For more on these stories and other news headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
So those were some of this week's headlines, and now we're going to go over and take a look at what's on Xbox Live this week. One of the things included is one of my favorite racing games from last year, Pure, now going to be on Games on Demand on Xbox Live. For the rest, let's take a look.
This week on Xbox Live Marketplace. On the game demos front, sports fans can grab MLB 2K10. This demo gives a peek at the latest baseball sim from publisher 2K Sports, with the usual round of improvements on graphics and gameplay that you can expect from the 2K series. The arcade section brings a trio of new releases. First up, you can rock your enemies in Fret Nice. Jump around wailing on your guitar to defeat foes using a regular controller or even the guitar controller from any Xbox rhythm game. Fret Nice also supports 2 players and is available for 1,200 Microsoft points. But if you're too lazy to jump around, Dr. Digabone knows just how you feel. He's off looking for treasure but can't be bothered to even walk. Spin and flip the map to move Dr. Digabone around, collecting artifacts and avoiding traps. Lazy Raider is available for 800 Microsoft points. If you're not lazy and just plain greedy, check out Greed Corp. This strategy game will have you exhausting all the natural resources from the world until the land itself collapses. Build up an army and get all the resources until there's nothing left. Greed Corp supports up to 4 players and is available for 800 Microsoft points. In the downloadable content section, the hottest thing out is the Secret Armory of General Knox for Borderlands. With a higher level cap, new areas, new enemies, and, as the name implies, lots of new weapons. Borderlands fans shouldn't miss what Gearbox is calling their biggest DLC to date. Moving on to Games on Demand, check out the vertigo-inducing off-road racer Pure. Get airborne on your quad to pull off stylish tricks in this crazy racing game. Pure is available to download for $19.99. And on the indie games front, Space Poker will make you shoot your own hand, dodge the falling cards and shoot them to make poker combinations, or test your reflexes in Avatar Showdown. When the timer hits, press a button as fast as you can to get the first strike in. Also, there's easy as 1, 2, 3 blackjack. Rather than make your own hand, here you'll just bet on the 3 hands on the board. It's easy to learn, just pick up a row and throw down some chips. continue the trend of new takes on classic games, check out Asteroid Capture. Collect the asteroids in any way you can, with lasers and tractor beams at your disposal. Or if you just want to watch your avatar dance around, then you won't want to miss Avatar Boogie. But since you probably will want to miss it, we'll just wrap up this segment now. Don't miss next time as we bring you the latest this week on Xbox Live Marketplace.
All right, well, that was a look at this week's games on Xbox Live. Now we're going to take a look at an upcoming game on the Nintendo DS, Dementium 2. Now, Kevin, Dementium was actually one of my favorite DS games. It was a really nice little portable shooter that was really atmospheric, creepy, and it was a really great game. It was really kind of surprising, actually.
Now, you've described this game as one that really gets into your head, and I can honestly say that there's no scarier place than inside my head.
That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Now we're just going to move on to Dementium 2. Take it away, Brian Eckberg.
Hey everyone, it's time for your daily demo. We're checking out Dementium 2 with Aubrey Norris from South Big. Aubrey, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You look so much nicer than you last time you showed this game. You were wearing prison outfit. Now, a regular outfit. Much nicer, I have to say.
Exactly. I'm out of prison.
Yeah.
I'm living
Rehabbed.
a civilian life. Yeah, rehab. You know, it took a while.
Well,
so.
good. Well, Dementium 2, I guess, I don't know if it's just me, I think it's a sequel?
Yes.
Just based on the title alone, right?
Right.
Okay.
The first game was Dementium the Ward, came out in 2007, so
Okay.
Dementium 2 is a sequel continuing that story.
Continuing the story on the Nintendo DS, game is coming out soon, right?
Yep, April 20th.
April 20th. Well, we had the game on, I think, late last year on Today on the Spot, and now it's back. So tell me, what are we showing here? What's new with Dementium 2?
So today we have some gameplay from a section of the game that kind of shows the variety of the environments that we were going for, kind of as a follow-up to some of the reviews from Dementium the Ward.
Okay.
There was some criticism that every environment looked the same. It was just kind of monotonous in terms of the environments you're playing in. The section of the game that we have here is about a third of the way into the game.
Okay.
It's in the town of Pelf, Michigan, which is where Dementium 2 is based on. And in Dementium the Ward, you never really got a chance to go outside the facility that the game was based in, but here we're taking you out into the village, kind of giving you more of a broader picture of what's going on in the story. So in terms of the story, when you come to this point in the game, you've woken up in this kind of jail/mental facility. You're trying to piece together like how you got here, what's going on, and suddenly you go through a couple boss battles. You find out that there's a doctor who's basically been torturing you and has kept you kind of captive there, and he's watching your every single move. You wind up escaping the facility through some underground tunnels, and you come to this area that we're seeing right here, which is the Pelf Village.
Okay.
You're also, as you go through the game, you're getting notes from your wife.
Okay.
And she's kind of telling you that she needs you to come meet her, if something very urgent has happened. So she keeps leaving you notes from different places, and when you find the first note, she leaves you another note that, I had to leave here, they're coming after me, come meet me at this place. So you spend some time in Pelf kind of wandering around and trying to find your wife, because every time you try to find her, you miss her.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we are in this footage right here.
So these aren't regular enemies, these are like creepy monsters.
Yeah.
There's sort of like a mystic undertone to this game?
Yeah, there is actually. There's, I don't want to give away the story,
Okay.
but as you go through the game, it makes you question what you're seeing and the reality of what you're seeing.
Have the controls changed at all from the first game?
They build a lot off of what the first game had. The UI actually was improved a lot to give you a map that's visible all the time instead of having to switch over to another menu. The controls for this game are kind of a hybrid of learnings that Renegade Kid had from Dementium the Ward and from Moon, which is their previous title to this.
Right.
So they had received a lot of feedback on kind of what works well for an FPS on the DS. So it's kind of a hybrid of both.
All right, Aubrey, there we go. The last question, of course, is when is Dementium 2 coming out?
April 20th.
April 20th on Nintendo DS. There you go. There's your daily demo for today. Now back to the rest of the show.
That was a look at Dementium 2 on the Nintendo DS. Now we're going to take a look at what's going on around the community. Kevin, you actually used to be on the community team.
I did. I was a volunteer moderator for years. I joined GameSpot as a tournament coordinator, and no longer in community, but those were great days indeed.
You were living the dream.
Absolutely. Also living the dream is Jody Robinson. She continues to live the dream, and she is now going to bring us the community spotlight. Take it away, Jody.
Hey there, this is Jody Robinson, GameSpot's Community Manager. This week's Community Spotlight highlights details about our game night schedule, Nintendo World Summit coverage, and the Member Spotlight. If you haven't had a moment to check out the latest Nintendo World Summit coverage, we have an advanced look at some of the biggest Wii and DS games coming out this fall. You'll want to drop by the features page for details. This week's Member Spotlight goes to Superfast Sonic for his blog about game cliches. His blog explores the top 10 cliches, including motion controllers, Pokemon clones, virtual pets, zombies, and slimes. Are any of you itching for some competition with other GameSpotters? We are in the process of switching up the game night schedule to accommodate different time zones in the US. Drop by the community blog to vote for the times you are likely to participate. That's all for this week's Community Spotlight. This is Jody Robinson, signing off.
Thanks, Jody, for bringing us all the happenings in community, but there are other happenings going on too. Nintendo had an event yesterday, Lark.
That's right, Kevin. The Nintendo World Summit was here in San Francisco yesterday, and we got our hands on a whole bunch of great games. Why don't we see what they had from the show floor?
Hey guys, Brian Ickberg here, the Nintendo Press Summit, and I'm going to take you through Photo Dojo. It's a game that Nintendo introduced for the first time at the press conference this morning, and now we've got a chance to take a look at it and use it for ourselves. My friend Dave here from Nintendo is going to help me. He's going to take the photos, because you got to take a lot of photos in this game. But first of all, I want to make sure you guys know DSi XL. I'm holding it in my hand. Check out, 93% bigger than your regular DSi screen. So that's kind of cool in and of itself. But anyway, let's get to the character creation part. You can create a character using the inside camera, and you sort of set it down and then back away from the camera and take your own photos. Or you can have a friend use the outer camera to take your photo. Dave's going to help me with that. You got to take 13 photos, so this might take a few minutes. So first up, it's asking for my game face.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one, nice one.
Next one is what?
We got the game face. The next one is going to be the face of defeat.
Face of defeat. You'll never see this face, but.
The next one we want to create a fireball.
Okay, fireball.
So this is the actual fireball that you'll be
the projectile.
Shooting. Right. So what we've done with some people is we've taken like a close-up picture of a fist.
Okay.
Or just maybe a red background.
Ooh, wadded up piece of paper is not bad. I've got that. Get it all the way in frame. That thing is deadly.
There's the deadly fireball right there. Look at that. Okay, so now we're going to pose for the action shots.
Okay. Arms up, protect the rib cage.
Oh, that is a keeper. Beautiful. Okay, a taunt.
Taunt the opponent. You're going down.
Better. And then the last one is victory pose.
Okay. So it's time, we've done all our photos. Now it's time to create our sound. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, look about 9 or 10 of these sound recordings, and they have different situations that you're supposed to pay attention to. Frightening photo, but anyway. First one is greet your opponent. Hello, how are you today? Now next one is the howl of defeat. Oh! I punch you. You have been kicked. I'm going to throw a paper ball at you. Your mama's so fat, her blood type is ragu. Now we have all our photos taken and we have all our sounds done, so we're basically ready to fight. So hit next. There's your guy. You got to give him a name. We want to call him Fuel McCarthy. Almost enough room. Even on this screen, that's a big name. Fuel McCarthy. And you also choose the style of fighter he is. You have Kung Fu Master, Shanghai Demon, I don't even know what that is, Loose Cannon, and Judo Warrior. Well, we all know a guy named Fuel McCarthy is a loose cannon. So my man Tyler says Shanghai Demon, so okay, he's a Shanghai Demon, no problem. And that will determine the sort of special move you have when you use that. So now we got Fuel McCarthy created. Now, when you that's for creation, you hold the DSi XL like this. When you play the game, you turn it sideways and play it like a traditional game. So as you can see, we're here on the main screen of Photo Dojo. You have the Creative Fighter, which we've just seen. Now it's time to head into battle, so I'll tap that. And you have two modes. You have versus mode and single player mode. Well, we don't have anyone to play against right now, so we'll try single player mode. And we have a bunch of different fighters that people have created throughout the day.
Hello,
There's Fuel McCarthy. Let's try him. And you can also take pictures with the DSi camera to use as your backgrounds. This one's pretty cool, so we'll choose that one. And the basics here, you got to beat 100 enemies. Easy enough. Easier said than done with Fuel McCarthy. And you can see me walking along. A button is attack. You can also do the sort of fireball attack by pressing back and A, and you saw me throw that paper at him. There it goes up. Yep. I think I just beat up Jeff Gerstmann. That's Jeff Gerstmann I'm beating up right there. He got past me. That's okay. I can taunt my enemy. See, there's the photo I took. Probably heard me. Oh, you guys suck. Your mamas. Oh, that guy hit me with a fireball of his own. Oh, that's the Shanghai Demon attack. That's why. You get even sometimes. Yeah, the guys get short. They get really big. You cannot stop the Shanghai Demon's triple paper ball though. That's an unbeatable attack. So you can play this game. You can play 2 players on one DSi XL.
Exactly right. Yeah, 2 players can share one DSi XL. So we'll go into battle.
All right, I want to use my guy. So got him.
Great. And I'll go with Elvis.
That guy, Elvis versus Fuel McCarthy. I want to taunt you right now. Look at that. Oh, down on the ground. You can taunt whenever you like. Oh man, I'm down. Oh no, this is no good. At some point, I'm assuming I'm going to get a desperation move here. Oh, you've got your desperation move. No! I'm punching you where it's not fair to punch. Oh, yes. So close. Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, man. Anyway, wow. All right, Dave, thanks for the help. We appreciate that. There's your look at Photo Dojo, coming soon on DSiWare. Your mama's so fat, her blood type is ragu.
All right, now it's daily demo time. For the second demo today, we've got Supreme Commander 2. Kevin, you got your hands on a copy of that earlier today, right?
Sure did.
And we took some footage of it. So let's take a look. So what are you doing right here, Kevin? That is a whole lot of things on screen.
Lark, as a matter of fact, it is. I figured nobody wants to see all the boring strategy stuff at the beginning, so I just went and took some late gameplay footage late in this match. What we're looking at now is some hella awesome experimentals. There are 3 factions in Supreme Commander 2, of course. I'm playing here as the UEF, and you see those giant big robots that are essentially, they're made of guns.
That is the best robot ever.
So in any case, the big bots that you see are called King Cryptors. And these dudes are basically made of guns. You see they've got cannons, they've got rockets, they've got everything you need in a big bot.
They're also like 300 times bigger than your other bots.
Yeah, in fact, they're much larger than even your own ACU, which is your main unit in Supreme Commander.
Isn't that what builds stuff?
Yeah, that's exactly what builds stuff.
How do you build something bigger than you?
It just happens. It just happens. And you also see the other experimental along with them, the kind of the big lower to the ground units. And those are the Fat Boy 2s. They're a little bit different than the Fat Boys in the original Supreme Commander, but they're still enormously helpful. And now here we're looking at some other experimentals. Here we've got some air experimentals. You see the Mega Fortress, the Flying Fortress there. It's kind of unique. It's a huge, basically a huge gun and rocket ship, but it also makes its own flying units. So you can keep them inside, and in a few moments we're actually going to see me release all the flying units it's holding inside of it.
So it's like a carrier in StarCraft, kind of?
Absolutely. It's a carrier, but it's also very offensive, as you can see here. I'm going over to attack a base here, and you can see that it's got great rockets, but in a moment I'm going to let loose. There we go. Let loose all the flying units that I had inside.
You're just going to ravage stuff now.
Absolutely. And you can also see I've got my my turrets over there, my artillery, and they're also pounding that area in general.
Nice, nice. I see you can still zoom out way far.
You absolutely can, and it's much slicker than before. The original game was, it looked great, but it was certainly not known for necessarily its performance. I've had no performance difficulties here. Very smooth, very slick. So you can move in and out very easily. You can also identify individual units a lot more easy. That's great grammar. A lot more easy than you could before.
Awesome. And so we're looking at the PC platform, right?
We are looking at the PC version here. That's coming out on March 2nd, and Xbox 360 a short time after.
All right. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
All right. Now it's the time of the show where we give away stuff. So first off, Kevin, I have a question to ask you.
Oh, I've heard
Are
that
you?
so many
Are you,
times
Kevin?
over the last few weeks, Lark.
Yeah, personally, she keeps asking me that question, and I keep saying no. No, crazy box lady, I don't want to save my son. I don't have any. But this is from Heavy Rain. It includes a sweet origami crane here that has some blood on it because it's actually a murder weapon. And also, we have this newspaper that actually appears in the game, as well as cool profile cards for all the different characters, and the totally awesome box that talks to you when you open it and asks you really creepy questions about your personal life. And you keep saying, no box, I don't want to answer those, but it doesn't stop. So we have this to give away. Also, maybe Kevin can speak a little bit more about these, but we have these rad future acrylic imprint things about characters from Final Fantasy 13.
In the future, everything will be made of acrylic.
Lightning and snow.
And snow. Did you know that those are different types of weather?
That is true. Is there a fire? Is that a person in that game?
No, but there's definitely a theme.
What about volcano?
No volcano either.
They're just not covering their elemental bases anymore?
Yeah, no, there's no hail. No slush.
Sauce. All right, so now we have two questions. First of which is for this awesome Heavy Rain box where that just talks to you really creepy like. The question is, halfway through Heavy Rain, you're asked to cook something. What is that thing that you're cooking? You know the answer to that? Send it into our trivia at onthespot@gamespot.com or with a little button on the right. And questions for Final Fantasy 13?
Yeah, you know now I'm hungry. You cook things in Heavy Rain?
You do.
Damn.
Through QuickTime events.
Definitely gonna get that game.
Yeah.
I like virtual cooking and virtual eating for that matter. My question is, of course, regarding Final Fantasy 13. I'm in the middle of playing it now, and what I want to know is, what are the names of the two warring lands in Final Fantasy 13? There are two worlds at war, and I want to know the names of each.
All right, well, again, if you know the answer to that, send it into onthespot@gamespot.com or hit the little trivia button over there on the right-hand side of the page. So that's it for today's show. That's all the goodness we have to show you. But be sure to check out our Heavy Rain review, which I wrote and is awesome because I'm awesome.
Lark, you are awesome, but you know what's even more awesome? Nintendo. So make sure to check out all the stuff from the Nintendo Summit as well.
That's right. And be sure to check out our GDC webpage, which will be going up very shortly. So from everyone here at Today on the Spot, I'm Lark Anderson.
I'm Kevin Van Ord.
See you Saturday. All right, now it's daily demo time. Kevin, you took some footage of Supreme Commander 2 earlier today.
Sure did.
And now we're going to take a look at it. I went a little bit fast with that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you got.
Take a look at.
I just kind of fit 3 words into 1 word. There were no spaces there.
So that was Jody bringing us everything going on in the community. Speaking of community, that is the worst segue I've ever said in my life.
Tune in this Saturday when we demo 3D Game Heroes and check out what's new this week on PlayStation Network.